Morning, Jimmy Krotov speaking. I want to continue my notes about the meaning of history today. What is postmodernity? What is um, uh, the main sense of the 21st century? But first, I must add some note. I've said yesterday that mm, Western Europe, beginning from the 11th century, uh, developed the idea of progress. First, it was the progress only in the church sphere, then the progress as the social force. And anyway, the idea was secondary. It was only the echo of the practical life of the people. So, first, people began some sort of creative inventions uh, in all spheres of their life industry, um, work on the land, agriculture, writing, thinking. And then it was the basement of the progress and vice versa. Once the idea of progress appears, it influences these social and economical processes. But I've mentioned that progress inspired Europeans for the more rigid social life. For the and the progress was bought with the price of discriminating and oppression of certain social groups. First of all, women, children, um, Judists, Jews. Pogroms began, and, and in general, those who were not like others. Well, a good example is the crusade of the French kings in the south of France. The famous Albigensians crusades, creation of universities. It was the means of centralizing the king's power. And in this sense, the progress was also aimed against aristocracy, against feudals. Concentrate the power. This is the main force, the main means of progress. Power in education, power in family, power everywhere. And what was the main obstacle to progress in this sense? Freedom, just the usual human freedom. I think anyone knows this strange, irrational situation when Apostle Paul said that I know what I must do. I want to do my best, but I do something else. Sometimes sins, sometimes I'm just walking. I'm just lying on the bed and looking upstairs. That's all. I don't want to do what I want. This is the main paradox of the human nature, of the human psychology. Even when I try to discipline myself, I have a great number of obstacles. They appear immediately. I don't want to do what I want. And which is also important, I don't want to do what what I'm obliged to do, what I'm supposed to do. And I think that usually when I think that I don't want to do what I want to do, that means that I want to do something which is socially positive, which the society supposes me to do, not myself. And the main problem is whether there is myself. Can I exist without the social pressure or not? Actually, even when I do something on my own free will, is it myself? Or to be more precise, is it myself as such an eternal self? Or myself which was created during my childhood upbringing by the society? I don't think we can receive an answer. Certainly, science, psychology, tells us that our self is only the artificial product of milieu, of upbringing, of the family, of the country, of the universe. But psychology describes the process of formating, but she cannot prove that there is nothing except this process. And my ontological self can appear in this world due to the family, but not the family is the main actor of the process. Yeah. At least it is not, you cannot verify this with 100%. So it came out that the main obstacle to progress is the free will of others. And maybe the best example is the freedom of other people, of other nations. Why Africans struggled with the colonial system? Why? Why Africans opposed the system of discrimination? It was for their well-being. Really? Because Europeans, we looked at them as adults look on children. We must taught you. But they are not children. They were quite adult people. I don't say that ideals of Europe, I am European. I share these ideals. I don't say that the ideals of colonizators and imperialism were bad. Progress, technology, long life, better life. But the means, violence. Violence against quite adult people. And it was enough. Imagine, I live in Moscow. Now we have the war with the Western Europe. The war with Ukraine actually very quickly began the war with the West. And Ukraine opposes Russia due to the support of the West. It's normal. It's normal. I can say it's good because I'm the pacifist, but it's normal. It's not a sin, so to say. It's positive. As a pacifist, I'm against any war at all. But in the system where the war is the legitimate means of defending one's own liberty and freedom, it's okay. But imagine American troops coming here in Moscow, to Moscow. My moral obligation will be not to collaborate, at least, with these troops, not to collaborate with them. For many years, I've collaborated with Americans. I worked as a freelancer for the Radio Free Europe Liberty, making the religious broadcast, Christian talk show. And I'm grateful to God for this work. It changed my life. It made me free. First of all, free from the thoughts about money. But I worked with Americans in free Russia, and I has no moral right to collaborate with Americans as aggressors, as occupants. No, no. First go away, and then I shall work for you. It's the paradox of ethics. And it was and is still the main obstacle to progress, because progress can be reached only through free collaboration of people, of humans, of nations, of states. And I can say that it is impossible to get such a free collaboration. Yeah. And still, this is the only way. So our mission is to make something impossible. And it's great and it's normal, because what's the sense of making something easy? And I dare to say that all the best which we have in our lives and in history on the earth some time ago was impossible. And now it's a reality. Jimmy Krotov, Moscow. Bye.